Listen up, man. You read the title right. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it at all. Masturbation is mutating your masculine essence. Yes, sir. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up, my guy. The act of masturbation is absolutely mutating your masculine essence, is absolutely mutating your masculine energy. You might be wondering, okay, man, what the fuck does that even mean? Masturbation mutating my masculine essence? What's going on? Am I losing an arm? Am I getting amputated? What am I losing in my masculine essence every time I masturbate? Please let me know. Well, relax, 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 my guy. I'm gonna need you to just take a deep breath, because it's time for your boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. So first things first, what you must come to understand along this journey of becoming your highest self as a man on the mental, physical, and spiritual planes of reality is that your sexual energy is seriously your greatest asset in every single one of these endeavors. And this is why the matrix, the Maya, the illusion, the material world that we are living in today, society as a whole, is trying to siphon that away from you. Why do you think pornography is free? Junk food isn't free, but pornography is free. That should make you wonder a little bit. Why is promiscuity and hookup culture so pushed upon in the younger generations? It wasn't like that before. Wonder about that. This is all due to the fact that when man is robbed of his sexual energy, he becomes lazy, he becomes lethargic, he becomes passive, and all in all, he becomes a slave to his senses. He becomes a mere cog in the machine. He becomes a pawn on the chessboard rather than a true sovereign entity. Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? You become less of a man when you're chronically masturbating, when you're chronically spilling your seed, when you're chronically depleting yourself of that life force energy. You see, each and every single month, women go through this cycle called the menstrual cycle, where they release some of that energy. This is when they're most irritable. This is when they're the most emotional. This is when they're the most feminine, if you want to call it that. Chaotic. Feminine energy is chaotic energy. However, that's once a fucking month. For men, it could be 100 times in a fucking day that they're depleting themselves of that energy that gets them what? Closer and closer and closer to that chaotic state of the feminine. Now, is feminine energy bad? Absolutely not. But men are essentially being castrated in today's day and age, in our modern day culture, and becoming mutated forms of females. After you release, you tell me right now. And when I'm talking about release, I'm not talking about having kids. That's what it's made for. That is what it is divinely ordained to do. Your sexual energy, create another child. I want to ask you outside of that, whether that's hooking up with chicks that you don't really care about or wanking it to pixels on a screen. How do you feel afterwards? Lethargic, lazy, depressed, anxious, shameful, and guiltful. Shame and guilt, the two lowest planes of consciousness on the scales of the human experience. You don't go up to your friends like, hey man, just watch a bunch of porn, bro. Oh man, that's so sick, dude. That's so great. I'm happy for you, man. You don't. You try hiding it away because you're ashamed of it. Man is not meant to live a life full of shame and full of guilt and full of repressing himself. This is mutating your essence, your very being as a man. You lose part of yourself every single time you do that, whether you want to believe it or not. whether you want to believe it or not. This is why you give up a part of yourself in order to create a whole nother life, what it was meant for. But if you're just doing it for pleasure, because you're a slave to your senses, each and every single time, you're becoming less of that masculine, charged man that you could be. This is why when you practice semen retention and celibacy, you start to regain that ground back as a man. You start to regain the balance that you've lost as a man from years and years and years of sexual exhaustion, of sexual depletion, because you have been running rampant, not giving a shit about your sexual energy, just releasing it all the time. This is why you feel more stoic. This is why you feel more grounded. This is why you feel like a man on this journey, which is quite contrary to all these alpha pills, alpha red pill guys, top G's tell you. What do they say? In order to be a man, you need to sleep with 100 women, 1,000 women. And look at their lives. It's all based in materialism in the material world. They're a slave to the material world. They're a slave to their material body. The material body within the Vedic tradition, within the yogic traditions, is correlated to Shakti, the feminine aspect. Chaos. Pure contemplation is the pure divine masculine. And what is that? Shiva. Shiva means pure detachment. And when I say detachment, I'm talking about that state of mind that you get when you practice celibacy and semen retention for a certain amount of period of time. You'll know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Comment down below. Of being detached. Not numb to your emotions, but in charge of your reactions to them. And this is something that cannot be truly understood through language, only felt through first-hand experience to be understood. Not understood, understood. What do these alpha guys tell you? Again, you need all these girls, you need all these bodies to be a man. Yet funny enough, they're doing the exact opposite of being a man. They're drifting further and further away from pure presence and pure contemplation into pure chaos. Riding on these emotions. Oh, I need the cars, I need the clothes, I need the money, I need the hoes. I need to look like this, I need to act in a certain way. I need to manipulate in order to get something out of the material world. That's making you less of a motherfucking man. I don't give a shit about what any of these people say. Stop getting tricked in your mind through all that masturbation is making you think, oh man, these guys are right. You've brain rotted yourself from all this pornography. You've brain rotted yourself from all this promiscuity that makes you think that these idiots are right. That is mutating your masculine energy. You become a man that is just fully drowning in feminine energy. And again, feminine energy is not bad, but you need the balance. And right now, in today's day and age, men are more feminine than ever. I'm not talking about testosterone levels. We're talking about true consciousness and spiritual energies. I'm not talking about checking how much serum testosterone is in your fucking semen. I'm talking about the way we act, behave, and operate within the material world. It is all feminine. Going to get external things. We're going outside instead of going back internal. Internal is where the masculine energy is about. With the masculine energy, it says no to the external world because it knows. It says no, N-O, because it knows, K-N-O-W, that within is true joy and happiness that nothing on this material world, nothing can replicate. Nothing. No amount of cars, clothes, hoes that these dipshits will tell you. These people, these alpha guys, they talk about, oh man, start watching porn, just go fuck around with all these girls. That's still a masturbator mindset. Do you understand what I'm saying? Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? When I say masturbation, I'm not just talking about stroking your schlong. I'm not just talking about stroking your fucking schlong. I'm talking about using other people's bodies as masturbation tools as well. Hookup culture, all that shit is combined into this one form, one act, where you need the material world to give you happiness, where you need something external to find a feeling, to give you some dopamine. A true masculine man is happy in a mansion on the beach, as well as a cave in the most poverty-stricken lands in the world. That's true masculine energy, and you are depleting that, and you are completely cooking it, mutating it, by being in this masturbation motherfucking mindset. Let that sink into your mindset right now. Let it really marinate. This masculine energy that you have access to is your gateway to finding God that resides within. Within, not outside. Within. Masculine energy. It's not about go, 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 which other people think about. It's about coming back to the self. Coming back to your true nature. No longer being a slave to the senses. Taking back control over you. A true masculine man, a divine masculine man, understands, better yet, understands that this material world is temporary, that this material world is full of illusions, that lust comes and goes like the wind. They do not let that wind completely get caught in their sails and pull them away from the true self, from true self-realization, because they are rowing and rowing and rowing the boat on this path of self-mastery. They're taking back control. And when you take back control of yourself, again, it's not about the external world. A lot of people think that, oh man, Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, all these guys, they're so fucking masculine. Look at all these guys, they're just conquering land, conquering this, raping and doing pillaging. That's a true man. A true man conquers the inner landscape and undergoes the inner voyage rather than looking externally. The true divine masculine man. That's what he's doing. And every time you continue to stay in this masturbation mindset, you cut off your ability to actually follow into the footsteps of that divine masculine essence that resides within you. You become dependent on the external world. Just like females who need to take pictures on Instagram to get some validation from the external world, you need to go do this and do this and do that to get validation from the external world, because you're a slave to it. You are a slave to Maya. You're a slave to the illusion. You're a slave to the material world. You're a slave to Shakti. And funny enough, women, today's day and age, have taken back that control of the masculine essence. What does that mean? They know they can manipulate you. They know that they can make you do gymnastics, hula hoops, break dance for their body. If you as a man look at a girl in a bikini and you lose your fucking sense of self and you just get consumed into the fire of your compulsive nature, how can you consider yourself a true man? You're not in control of yourself. A man, but everyone says you got to be a protector, control, blah, blah, blah. You can't control yourself. And you're telling me that you're a man because you got these cars, clothes, hoes. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You still got that masturbation mindset. People who are addicted to sexual pursuits are 9 times out of 10 those who are chronically masturbating before, because they don't have the ability to detach and become that pure divine state of masculinity where they're beyond the body and beyond the brain and observe that emotion for what it is. It's just energy in motion. Just because you're hungry doesn't mean you gotta eat. Just because you're angry doesn't mean you gotta yell. Just because you're horny doesn't mean you gotta engage in lustful behaviors. That's what a true masculine man understands, understands. Yet when you're constantly masturbating, that trickles on over to every aspect of your life. If you're angry, you yell. Women are on their periods. When they're angry, what happens? Irritable, angry. There's no real logic behind it. When you as a man are on your period is not bleeding blood. It's releasing your seed, releasing that sexual energy all the fucking time. You tell me how much irritable you get, how shameful you get, how you look for other things to numb you after being in that dark, descending spiral downwards. That's why all these things binge off of lust. You lust, then you're eating junk food to forget about it. You're smoking weed, drinking alcohol to forget about it. They all bridge off of that one big bond, that one big shackle that is tied around that state of consciousness associated to your sexual energy, the sacral chakra, the svadhisthana. You fall off that cliff, you hit your head on this, you hit your head on that, you flip around and you just keep tumbling. It's a domino effect towards the wrong direction. Because if you can control that as a man, I'm telling you, it's like playing a video game, Call of Duty campaign mode on expert level. Everything else after that is fucking easy. I promise you that. If you are able to transcend lust, overcome that masturbation mindset, and overcome this need for finding fulfillment in this fake temporary world that is not going to give you true satisfaction, only giving you a quick taste and spike of dopamine. Once you learn to go beyond that, you find the true self, the true masculine essence, and that allows you to slice through everything else. You see, the masculine man, the true divine masculine, doesn't go with a sword to go slash around other people and conquer lands. It goes and gets the sword of righteousness and slices through the shackles that's keeping him a slave to the senses in order to not conquer other land on the external world for validation, for status, for more sex and more survival, but he takes back reign over the internal world that he's been given up to the other forces outside of himself, to these emotions, to lust, to greed, to this, to that. Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? Because he understands every time he slashes through one of those shackles, every time he slashes through one of those bondages, he starts to get closer and closer to those states of internal bliss, a treasure that cannot be found in the gold of the world, the gold of the multitude. It's that internal gold of getting closer and closer to states of spiritual ecstasy that come about when you start to align yourself to your destiny. God damn. Let that sink into your mind. We get closer and closer to those states of spiritual ecstasy because we're getting more and more aligned to our motherfucking destiny, our dharma, our duty, what we were really brought here to do as men. Beyond just satisfy our senses, beyond just live a life of me, of individuality. You get closer and closer to that non-dual, detached state of consciousness, represented by, again, the Vedic and yogic traditions, Lord Shiva. That's true masculine energy. It's up here. It's not down in your motherfucking nutsack. The more that your energy is flowing down to your nutsack, the closer, fun enough, you are to the feminine. Always looking external, going outwards. Outwards, like your seed, like your consciousness. Your consciousness is connected to the seed. Your energy. When that energy is flowing downwards, where does it eventually go? Up, outwards. When that energy is flowing upwards, where does that eventually go? Inwards. Inward bliss. You lose that ability to do so because you're losing your masculine essence by being this chronic masturbator. Again, whether that be on pixels online, pixels on a screen, or out in the hookup culture scene. Same thing, same rules apply. However, it is the man that breaks the bonds of that bullshit that finally allows his energy to raise up. And as he climbs up, he starts to become not more manly in the sense of like, oh man, muscles and this and that. Cool. Maybe if that happens, awesome. But I'm talking masculine within your mindset. And when I'm talking about mindset, I'm talking about the need to get excitement and fulfillment in the material world starts to vanish and dissolve because you start to find it within you. This is what this whole journey of self-mastery is all about. Unlocking the mind, purifying the body in order to awaken the soul, where you'll find the true self and the true happiness that you have been searching for as a fucking clown in this material world. This is all these different types of practices, from semen retention and celibacy to pranayama, meditation, all the stuff that we talk about here on this channel, on the main channel, on the private Patreon community. Man, shout out to the fucking private Patreon community. Listen up, man. Listen up. You see the AC-130? The helicopters are after me because I'm about to drop some game for y'all. If you have not joined up into the private Patreon community yet, I'm going to need you to just pause right now. Go find the closest mirror to you. Really analyze the person that's staring right back at you in that mirror. Take a good mental picture. That person staring right into your eyes and right into your soul. Once you got a good mental picture, I want you to realize that you're doing him, not me, that guy that's looking right back at you in the mirror, a huge motherfucking disfavor by not joining up into the private Patreon community. Because if you're truly serious about actually reactivating your divine masculine essence, reactivating your true self through this path of self-mastery, then I'm telling you, man, you are missing out on all the game, all the sauce that we dropping over on the private Patreon community, because within there, we are really going in depth and in detail, uncovering everything around this overall esoteric science of self-mastery. I'm talking about exclusive videos that you ain't gonna find on this channel, that you ain't gonna find on the main channel. Matter of fact, you ain't gonna find anywhere else on YouTube. This is some real deal game for your motherfucking brain. You dig what I'm saying? It's gonna help you elevate on all planes of reality. I'm talking about the mental, physical, and spiritual. And along with those exclusive videos, you get access to our full guides, in-depth occult lectures, digital esoteric libraries, and most importantly, if you tap into the Philosopher's Circle, aka the highest membership tier group within the private Patreon community, you get an invitation to our private group chat where we host our bi-weekly mastermind live calls. Yes, sir. Live calls each and every single month, bi-weekly. Come on, man, are you picking up what I'm putting down? Will you hop on a call with me, as well as a community of like-minded men on the same path of self-mastery? We're gonna hold you accountable on this journey of reactivating and reawakening that divine masculine energy within you. Because now you are no longer getting distracted, tempted, and pulled in the wrong direction by all this fake masculine stuff in the fucking sphere that you see right now on the internet. Of do this so you can get that, and get the Bugatti and get this. That's all for bitches. That's all for feminine men, not the divine masculine man. This whole journey and this whole community is about finding that internal bliss and that internal path that will lead you back to your dharma, back to your destiny, the true path, the true journey in life, the true duty you were brought here to actually accomplish. If you want to be around people, around men who are on that same mission, who are on that same type of timeline, who are on that same type of wavelength as you, we're going to hold you accountable, who want to see you elevate, and better yet, want to see you liberate, then I'm telling you, man, the Philosopher's Circle is the place for you, my guy. I can assure you that. But if you need any more information about the Philosopher's Circle or the private Patreon community as a whole, check out the links posted in the pinned comment of this video. Because not only will you find the link to the private Patreon community, but also links to the other services that I provide, such as application forms for my personalized coaching program. If you're trying to work with me personally, one-on-one, mano-y-mano, to help you disintegrate, dissolve and detach from all these karmic bonds that are keeping you a slave to your senses, that are keeping you distracted, that are keeping you away, disconnected from your divine masculine essence, and you want to truly understand how you're really supposed to be living in this life by discovering your dharma, by discovering your destiny, shoot an application form and we'll see if your criteria meets the qualifications for the coaching program. That's all about detoxing from all these degeneracy. I'm talking about mental blocks, physical blocks, and spiritual blocks, so we get you back on the right path towards true glory, towards true godhood. That's a coaching program right there. If you're just trying to call me one time, a one-on-one consultation to discuss anything that you're dealing with so we can systemize a way, a solution to get you back on the right path, tap in with that. There's another link. We got weekly newsletters, free community Discord server, all that good stuff. Again, post in the pinned comment of this video. But like I was saying, all this stuff that we're talking about on this channel, on the main channel, especially on the private Patreon community, especially within my personalized coaching program, is all about breaking those bonds that are keeping you stuck in that feminine state of mind, in that materialistically driven mindset, where you think that the external world is going to bring you happiness, the external world is going to give you euphoria, the external world is going to give you ecstatic bliss. That's a facade. All these things are allowing you to take back the reins, take back control of your brain and body by awakening the soul. Let me say that again, because that was a motherfucking bar. Write it down. It's all about taking back the reins and taking back control by unlocking the mind, purifying the body, and awakening the soul. God damn, man. Somebody tattoo that on themselves. Somebody, please, put it on my gravestone. This is what this whole journey is about. And this is what it means as a man to become truly masculine. It's about mastering yourself. Not about how much money you make, not about how much muscles you have. Those are great, cool. I'm not saying those things are bad. But if you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the cars in the world, you can have all the clothes, you can have all the muscles, you can have all the girls, it does not make you a man by being a slave to the material world, by being a slave to Maya, by being a slave to the feminine. Just like how women will test men to see how far that they can run them through the mud, how many hula hoops they can go through, how many backflips, how many circus acts that they got to go in order to give them their body. The feminine, the woman, can do that. Make you just do all these fucking tap dance tricks in order for you to maybe get a sliver of her body. The universe, Mother Nature, another feminine aspect, Shakti, will test you the same way. It'll always make you do all these hula hoops of trying to get cars, clothes, girls, material things, thinking that, hey, here's a carrot right in front of you, here's the bliss. Oh, nope, you can't have it. Nope, you can't have it. It's testing you to make you realize that you'll never get it in the material world. You'll never get it. And the true masculine man realizes this quick. And instead of focusing his energy and his attention outwards in the material world, he starts to bring it internally. He starts to overcome survival. He starts to overcome the need for sex. And he starts to overcome the need for status. He goes beyond the lower three chakras and starts to ascend up towards the throat chakra of creativity. What was he brought here to create? Just like how we said, your energy, your sexual energy can create another human being. When you start to raise it up, it can be sublimated into another form of creation that the occultists call psychic reproduction. Instead of you reproducing another child, you take that same energy, instead of being stuck in the lower centers, in the lower energy centers, the lower chakras, is brought up to the higher states, in the higher centers, where that same reproduction can happen, but it's about your ideas. What can I bring into this world that's going to bring me fulfillment internally, but also help uplift the collective consciousness of humanity? That is your dharma, that is your duty, and that is the path that will lead you to the fountainhead of divine nectar, of divine ecstasy. Get a little drink of that. And this ain't a drink that you'll find in the gas station. This is a drink that only is sprouted by being on that path towards your dharma. And that dharma is not found unless you go beyond the brain and body. That's why the masculine man goes beyond the material world and he finds God within. He finds a path within. That same energy, when he practices celibacy and semen retention, that was dissipated and making him more like a female, and making him more irritable, and making him more less stoic, less grounded, less balanced. He's losing his foundation to actually build up this journey towards his real self. He was losing that. Once that's reverted back to himself, he starts to climb this ascent of self-mastery that will lead to self-realization. Masturbation, the mindset of masturbation and the act of masturbation put together is one of the strongest bonds that keeps a man mutated from his masculine essence, keeps a man marred and disconnected from the divine masculine essence. Yes, you might have a dick and balls, but are you a true man on the spiritual realm, on a consciousness realm, if you're still just stuck like a feminine aspect of needing external things, needing external world to give you some sort of bliss, some sort of feeling? Again, you should be able to find bliss in the mountains, isolated and within a Maserati in the city, if you're a true divine masculine man. It's not about the external world, it's about the internal state of mind. Masturbation is cooking that, mutating that. This is why they'll push porn. This is why they'll push promiscuity to you. Because they want you disconnected, because a man who realizes that this internal world is where real bliss resides can no longer be a mere cog in the machine, can no longer be a slave to the matrix. It becomes a glitch in the system. And we need more men to wake up to this, and we need more men to take upon the path of self-mastery. It's not easy, but if you're truly about it, you'll be about it. And especially the people that are watching this channel in specific, What the Fulati, we're out here literally in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? I'm talking about no cuts, no edits, just straight up speaking off the dome. You guys are more psychologically and spiritually matured than the masses. Am I saying that you're better than anyone? Absolutely not. Am I saying that you're a chosen one because you're watching this channel? Absolutely fucking not. This is not a new age spiritual channel. You got it all fucked up if you think that. This is real esoteric sauce. Sick to let the new agers talk about that bullshit somewhere else. If you want that, you ain't gonna find it here. So you better click off. But for you guys who are truly picking up what the fuck I'm putting down, really understanding and grasping these deeper level concepts, because most people can't watch a video for this long, matter of fact. But even when we're talking about these topics, it's completely just flies over their head. It's not even registering into their system. You guys have been blessed, maybe due to past lives, by working out some of your karmas to be able to be in this incarnation and understand these higher level concepts. And what does that mean? You cannot waste this incarnation to remain as a slave to masturbation. Incarnation, masturbation as another bar. You cannot remain a slave to it and cooking your masculine energy, your masculine essence, by just being in this descending spiral of needing pleasures in the external world. You have the knowledge. Now it's your time to make this knowledge gnosis. What does that mean? Knowledge is up in the brain. Gnosis is that in the heart. And what allows knowledge of the brain to be transferred into gnosis of the heart is first-hand experience. You must apply what the fuck I'm talking about. Don't just sit there like, man, he's right. but I'm just gonna keep masturbating, do this and do that. And dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? In the topic of masturbation, we see people in the self-improvement community watch video after video after video, read self-help book after self-help book after self-help book. We call them what? When they don't take action? Mental masturbators. I'm saying that this is you. If you do not actually apply these teachings, you're basically a spiritual masturbator. You can listen to all these videos, you can read these ancient texts, but until you apply it, that's just knowledge. It ain't gnosis. You're just spiritually masturbating. You need to apply. You need to take that jump into the deep end. Even though your senses might say, oh bro, we're gonna miss out, this and that. That's a sign that you're dependent on the external world for happiness. A true masculine man doesn't need the external world for happiness because he's found it within. Masturbation is mutating that out of your system. So you must learn to renounce using practices like semen retention and celibacy. And of course, if you're struggling on that path, your boy's got you covered. If you have not tapped into the Art of Retention ebook yet, you're missing out. You're missing out on the Patreon community. You're missing out on the coaching program. You're missing out on everything. What the fuck is wrong with you? Right now, go on the main channel. Better yet, just type in how to succeed on semen retention in YouTube. You'll find a full video guide on the main channel, which is now The Philosopher, no longer Fulati Fitness. If you know, you know. If you didn't know, well, now you know. On that main channel, The Philosopher, you'll find that video. Watch the video, get all the sauce, get all the game that you need in order to succeed on this journey. But also, you'll find the link to the Art of Retention ebook. It's totally free, which goes even more in depth and more in detail to the practices that you need to apply to actually make this whole journey, this whole discipline of semen retention fruitful for you rather than just suppressing your sexual energy. There's a science to this, and your boy broke it down like a brick. And look, man, if you're dyslexic, you're retarded, you can't fucking read, something is wrong with you. Your boy's got you covered with a full audio series of the Art of Retention ebook. Just tap into, again, the main channel, The Philosopher, go on the playlist, and then you'll find the Art of Retention audio series right there for you. Pop it in while you're driving, pop it in while you're walking, pop it in while you're doing whatever. Get up on some game. We're breaking out each chapter in that audio series. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. You got all the resources. And of course, if you're still struggling, you still need more guidance, you still need more help and support, tap into the Philosopher's Circle. Hop into our next Mastermind live call. Tap into the private group chat that we got. Not only will you be able to directly contact me, but also you got a community of like-minded men who are going to hold you accountable and actually help see you ascend on this journey. That's what it's all about. There's very few people on this same journey as you and I. We need to band together, and that community is right there for you. If you need to book a one-on-one consultation, let's do it. If you would like to take it up to a whole nother level on this journey of not just semen retention, but self-mastery, and want to be a part of the coaching program, shoot an application form. We'll see if you're qualified for this coaching program, the criteria that comes with it. You have all the resources, man. Do not be a spiritual masturbator, and do not get stuck as a masturbator, which is mutating your masculine essence. Let this stuff marinate in your mind. Let it sink into your psyche. This is not a game. You got to learn how to elevate on all motherfucking planes. You dig what I'm saying? Let's end it off right there. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out at games. You guys can make these gains. I'm out here. Peace.